LL Cool J is the original rap legend who has produced nothing but hits on top of hits. So I want to tell you guys how I put together his set and if his next album will be the one that sticks. Let's discuss. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the young prince by the name of Beasley. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So, did you guys miss me? Because I missed you, and I gotta say, I may sound like a broken record, but I've been away because your boy's been tired. And I mainly been tired because your boy's been working. Like, outside of this camera, you guys, I work hard, and in this story time, you're just gonna see how strong my work ethic is. So back in June, I was Megan Thee Stallion's bottle girl. It was a great experience, a great time being a brand ambassador for her tequila brand. I'm surprised it hasn't came out yet, but it's pending, it's coming. But anyways, the same lady by the name of Coral that booked me for that event wanted to book me for this album release party. And I learned that instead of being a BA, I was going to be a PA. What is a PA, you ask? A PA is a production assistant. So basically I was going to be a guy that was a part of a team of other men. They were going to put together a whole entire set for this mysterious album release party or album listening party. So basically, instead of being a brand ambassador, which basically I can't do, I was going to be a PA, a production assistant that was going to be doing hardcore manual labor. She said it was going to take place sometime in July, and it was going to be $30 an hour from the hours of 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. And at that time, I was like, you know what? I can't turn down any type of money in this economy. In this economy, I can't turn down any money, especially since my hours got decreased at Fenty, and also the modeling and acting jobs have dried up for right now. So baby, I needed some extra money. But we gotta fast forward all the way to August 19th because the album release party got pushed that day due to Hurricane Barrel Body bitch ass. Off topic, y'all, but that shit was a time. It definitely gave Leave the World Behind. But anyways, the album release party happened a few days after my birthday, and I will say, I didn't know who it was going to be for. I had no clue. Like, even when we got updated about it twice, they didn't tell us who this album release party was going to be for. I thought it was either going to be Megan Thee Stallion or, what's her name? Big Lotto. I don't know why I always forget her name. The location of this event was going to be at Bayou Place Theater, which back in the day, I found out that that was actually the Verizon Wireless Center. Back when I used to go to the Scream Tour and see Bow Wow and B2K on the stage. Ooh, wow, the nostalgia. But before I got there, now mind you guys, navigating downtown Houston is just the worst pain of all existence. Like, I hate driving downtown in Houston. Like, I never know where I'm going. There's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of red lights, a lot of people on the street getting into fights. Like, I just hate driving downtown in Houston. And right before I got to the area, they were saying like, oh, you need to go to the loading dock, and they gave me the address. So I put in that address in my GPS. I found some parking, and y'all, the address took me to a prison. Y'all, I literally walked up on a security guard, and I was like, hey, I'm here for the album release party. And he was like, the what? The album release party. I'm here for the show. And he was like, sir, unless you want to get arrested, you're not going to go to this show. Funny timing, I actually hear some police sirens outside. But since I already paid for parking, I had to put the address in my GPS and walk in 10 extra minutes in the hot-ass Houston sun to get there. And when I got there, I met up with a guy who was leading us by the name of Ron, who honestly I thought was Gucci Mane at first. I was like, okay, Gucci Mane here to help us do some manual labor. It was about a team of 4 of us, including 3 people that were there to help us. Ron, this other partner that honestly wasn't really doing shit, and then this other partner that was like a handyman that was there to guide us on how to put everything together and how the whole entire setup should look. Out in the venue, I met with the rest of the production crew. There was like a separate crew just there to set up the stage and the speakers. We were setting up everything else. And I learned that it was going to be hosted included in a separate VIP club within the venue called the 40 Below Club. Why do they call it the 40 Below Club, you ask? Mainly because it has 40 steps going down and 40 steps going up. And when we got there, we found out that the elevator was broken. And inside, I was just like, the fuck you mean? I went down to scope the club. It looked very nice, put together. It was like a VIP club. Like, you know how when you play a video game and you unlock certain sections of an area? Like, that's what it gave. But all jokes aside, we had to go back outside to unload this huge U-Haul truck. And it was a lot of stuff. And there was a lot of stuff, and we had to carry all that stuff downstairs. Y'all, everything that we had to take downstairs, I'm talking were stanchions, signs, photo booths, like the whole photo booth. We had to put together a whole entire wall that was going to be showcasing like his artwork and his pictures from his past. Like, y'all, it was a lot. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have not done this much physical labor and this much like physical work since my daddy had me out on the ranch back in '99. Like, baby, I may have been looking fine, but on the inside I was not fine. Like, after an hour of like getting things together and running up and down the stairs from that U-Haul to the club, y'all, I was dead. I was dead inside, but I kept my pride and then my head held high and just kept it going, especially because I was like the most like physically fit out of the bunch. And since I was the strongest out of the bunch, of course they had your boy lifting the most and carrying the most. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, there were times where I went to go hide in the restroom. I was just like, I can't do this. But baby, I could do it. And I did it, and once we got everything down, we had to put together the set. Now y'all, the guy leading us by the name of Ron, he saw how hard I was really busting my ass, and he gave me a little break from the rest of the class. And that break included going outside and spray painting and cleaning up the signs that were gonna hold what this event was for. Like, the signs basically saying like who this event was for and what it was for. They were going to be plastered all throughout the venue. And at that moment, when I put the signs inside of the signs, the sign holders, that's when I found out that the album listening party was for LL Cool J. And I was just like, LL Cool J coming out with an album? No, I had no clue at all. Like, I have always been a big fan of LL Cool J, but I have to keep it real. I thought he was completely done with music. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that, like, oh, he's actually coming out with a new album? Okay. I can't wait to hear this. I'm gonna be the first to hear this. Like, I'm pretty excited. Also, with the fact of being a fan, I've always had a big crush on Mr. LL. Later on that day after lunch, I met the girls that were in charge of us. It was like 2 black women and 1 racially ambiguous one. And one of them tasked me and this other guy for putting together the whole entire like art wall. Like, I think I took a video of it. I'm gonna insert it right here. It's like an art wall of his like album covers and also his past like his past pictures, like him, showing him throughout the years, showing how fine he is and how fine he's gotten. But baby, when I tell you, this album wall right here was the bane of my fucking existence. First off, we had to put together the wall. Like, it was like 4 different walls that we had to like nail together. Luckily, the one handyman that was guiding us, like, he kind of like put the wall together. Me and the other guy just had to kind of hold it in place while he drilled it in place. But this album listening party was like a whole tour. He did different tours in different cities, like Atlanta and New York, and basically like the places where he has like most of his fans and family and friends. And Houston was the last stop that low-key almost got canceled because of that hurricane. But they wanted us to line up the pictures to match how it looked exactly like it did in the other venues, like the other cities that he had the tour in. Like, we had to match it up to the way it looked in Atlanta. And the one handyman, he was doing it at first, and he got pissed off and walked away and just handed us the nail gun, because him and the other guy, the leader Ron, were getting into it, and he was like, okay, well fine, then you got it. And then he just handed me the nail gun, and I was just like, okay. Y'all, I've never used a nail gun before. So this is what we had in store. So me and the dude line up the pictures, and we're literally like leveling out with like a leveling ruler type thing. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. We're making sure everything's aligned, and we finished it. But then the leader Ron came back over, and he was like, this looks off, this looks off, this needs to be over here, this needs to be over here. Even though we were following the picture they gave us, part of it was cut off. So we literally had to like pry the shit off of the wall and re-nail it down to make it match that picture a lot better. Mind you, you guys, the picture frames that they gave us were janky as fuck. Just janky as fuck. Probably didn't even get them from Hobby Lobby. Got them from the Dollar Tree on a shopping spree. We had to spray paint them gold, and we had to put his pictures inside the frame. Some of the pictures didn't even have like a frame on them, like a glass frame. Some of it was just just the frame and the picture, like the piece of paper of the picture. That's it. So y'all, we got to a point where I thought I was almost done. Almost done, and then I misused the nail gun and it went right through the fucking picture and the glass and cracked it on one of them, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding? So y'all, me and this guy are struggling. We're struggling to get it off the wall. I nailed it down too hard. We fucked it up. Like we almost fucked that wall up, you guys, but somehow out of nowhere, they were like, oh, LL's coming, LL's coming, LL's coming. And I was just like, oh shit, hold up. Y'all, the party wasn't supposed to start at 7:30. This was 5:30 at this point. We didn't know that he was coming early, but they were like, LL's coming, like, get this together. So we had to rush and just pin that shit to the wall. We got it done. It looked good. And then when I finished, I turned around, bam, LL Cool J standing right in front of me. And y'all, when I tell you, when I saw him, I was just like, hold up. Hey, come on. Y'all, he looked great. Absolutely great. The only thing is, I didn't get to see his eyes because he had sunglasses on the whole entire time. Like, even when later on, he just kept the sunglasses on. Even now, I noticed in his videos, all he does is keep on sunglasses. And I'm just like, boo. We want to see the eyes that hypnotize. But he got in there, he greeted everybody. He has very good energy, very cool dude, very good vibe. And he was talking to the production crew, and then I was setting up the stanchions and cleaning up stuff and basically looking like a background extra trying to look busy. Like, that's what I was doing, just trying to look busy in front of him. I could tell he was a little frustrated about something, but overall, like, it was cool. And he went to his dressing room up until it was time to come out. So while he's in his dressing room, we got informed that instead of leaving at 12, they would like for us to leave at 2 a.m. And I'm just like, 2 a.m.? I'm tired, but it is extra money. So I ended up staying, especially just so I can like work the party and just be there, be available. Luckily, I was off from work. I didn't really have shit else to do, so I was like, why not? As he's in his dressing room, we're still like putting together the party. It actually got very delayed, very delayed, because his flight was delayed, and then everybody was outside waiting for probably like over an hour. And they were looking at us like pissed, like, bitch, are you gonna let us in? Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, everybody outside was looking at us pissed because we had to go outside and get food for his dressing room as well. So, yeah, it was a delayed mess a little bit, but it all came together in the end. So fast forward, it's like 9:30 at this point. Everybody's downstairs getting drinks and all that. And they were short-staffed with the bartenders, so one of like the leaders, like the racially ambiguous girl, she came over and was like, hey, I hate to ask you guys this, but would you guys like help serve the VIP guests like with drinks and food and all that? Like, ask them if they need anything. And I was like, sure, like, I'm used to that at this point, so why not? So I walked straight over to Slim Thug's section. Slim Thug was in attendance. You guys, I swear, Slim Thug, I see him more than I see my own parents at this point. I'm surprised he doesn't know me. Like, I see him everywhere I go. We've talked before, but he just never remembers my ass, so it is what it is. But I go to ask him for a drink, and then I go to ask other people for a drink, and this one older couple, shout out to them, because every drink I bought them, they gave me like a $10 tip, you guys, and I was just like, ooh, let me keep coming over here. Other celebrities in attendance, there were a lot of Def Jam record execs, like a lot of people from Def Jam were there, and I think, Now, y'all, I don't know if LL Cool J has an older brother, but there was this man there that looked exactly like him. Like, I never heard about him having any siblings. So if y'all know if he has any siblings, let me know, because this man looked exactly like LL Cool J, just an older version of him. So LL Cool J hits the stage. Everybody's excited to see him. It was mainly him and a DJ sitting there kind of talking about like what he's been through and basically like what was his thought process for making this album. And y'all, it was a little like ghetto and nigger rigged because he was gonna play the album from his phone via an aux cord connected to the speaker, and I'm just I'm just like what? But after that speech, he starts talking and then he proceeds to play his album. And off of first impression, do y'all really want to know my opinion? Now, if you know me, Beasley, I can be a tough cookie. I can be a tough critic, especially when it comes to music, especially when it comes to the artists that I absolutely love. And LL Cool J is an absolute favorite of mine. Love him down. I think he is an amazing, amazing artist. But you guys, based off my first impression, and mind you, I will play the album again when it comes out. It comes out on September 6th. Be on the lookout. But off of my personal first impression, I didn't like it.
I'm sleep. Take another break. I am so over it. I did not like none of it.
Now, LL, I gotta keep it real. Even though I wanna fuck ya, I ain't gonna fluff ya. My first impression of the album, honestly, it really just sounded like a bunch of noise. And that's just no shade. That's just my honest first impression. Cause baby, before he even played the songs and he was like scrolling on his phone, connected to the aux cord, like you could tell he was nervous. Like you could tell that he was nervous. Like I felt it, the room felt it. But baby, when he played those first two songs, I was like, no ma'am, no ma'am. The first two songs were The Spirit of Cyrus featuring Snoop Dogg, and then The Force, which that's the album, like that's probably gonna be the lead single because the title of his album is The Force. Like I said, I'm going to give everything another listen, but my first impression, I just did not like either one of those songs. And the first song was called Saturday Night Special. It featured Rick Ross and Fat Joe, and it was just decent. Now at this time, I had to go ahead and leave and move my car before it got towed because the time ran out. But when I came back, he played this song featuring Saweetie called Proclivities. And that song was just cute. It was just cute, not bad at all, just cute. He also has songs with Eminem and Nas. The song with Nas was called Praise Him, which it just a bunch of noise. And then the song Murdergram Dukes featuring Eminem, it was just a bunch of noise. But on the positives, my favorite song was the last song on the album. It featured this artist from Baton Rouge, like a younger artist by the name, I think it's called Mad Squab's his name. That was a dope song. Fire song, a great way to end the album. But overall, I'm going to give it another listen before I give it a rating because it's not fair. But just based off of my first impression, y'all, the album, it just... With heavyweights like Eminem, Nas, Snoop Dogg, and Busta Rhymes on the album, I expected it to be just hot fire, and I just was not... I wasn't getting jiggy with the shit. I just gotta keep it real. I love you, LL, but I can't get on camera and lie. It's really hard for me to lie. But like I do with my favorite artists, every time I put you down, I'm gonna find a way to lift you the fuck up. LL Cool J, you are sexy as fuck. And my favorite songs from you are love songs. Like Paradise, I Need Love, All I Have with J-Lo, I'm Gonna Love You Better. What else? Hey Lover, Who Do You Love? Featuring Total. Like, I love his love songs. The ladies love LL Cool J. It would have been so dope for you to come back with the one thing that is missing in this world, especially in the music landscape, which is love. Because baby, even the R&B boys and girls don't even sing about love. All they sing about is heartbreak, fuck niggas, fuck bitches, get money. Like, they all try to sing based off of what the rappers are doing. And in this day and age, love is the main thing that is needed, especially with all these artists out here just hating each other. You could have really did an album and really just came from your soul, which I also call your pussy hole. When you made your love songs, you poured your heart into those songs. You pulled from the pussy hole. You pulled from your soul. You put your heart and soul into Paradise. That is my favorite LL Cool J song of all time, featuring A. Marie. Paradise, ugh. And it was on like the Deliver Us from Eva soundtrack when they used to do movie soundtracks back in the day. Chef's Kiss, Tenders Across the Board. That is one of the best songs ever made. LL, I just felt like you could have poured into that aspect of you, especially because it's very underserved today in the music climate. Like, we need love. The world is missing love. And you could have brought not only love back, but sexy back, because you're sexy. Now, LL Cool J is wearing all these baggy clothes because that's what's in right now. Everybody's wearing these baggy aesthetics, but they're wearing these baggy clothes because they ain't got no body. Like, baby, you have all the body. At the age, I think LL Cool J, I think you're in your 50s at this point. Your body is shitting on everybody's body in the game. Like, you could have brought fitness back too, baby. But LL, if you were to tap into your sexy era and your love era, that would be the one ticket to getting you some top charting hits and also bringing both the old school and the new school together and really falling in love with your music and having all these young kids go back into your discography and listen to all your old songs. Especially with the fact that we're in a nostalgia age. Even though people are tired of nostalgia, they secretly want nostalgia because that was the good old days. You could have took your good old days, modernized it, and regurgitated it to everybody. Especially because these young kids are obsessed with Y2K in the 90s. They even dress like they're in the 90s. Like, the kids want to tap into that era, but have their own version of that era. But the world is missing love, and if you were to reach back into your bag of just being vulnerable, and hell, even talking about your marriage, like, your marriage is something that a lot of people can look up to. Like, we would like to know, like, the trials and tribulations of your marriage, like the ups and the downs, like that I'm Gonna Love You Better song. Like, that was definitely one of your biggest hits, especially because you really poured your soul and the issues you faced in your relationship into that song. I still jam that song to this day. Like, that song always gets played. The thing with LL, and he may not realize this yet, but he's a legend and can use his status to really shift this culture in the right direction. Love is severely missing in music, especially in the rap game, especially during this day and age where every rapper literally hates each other. Yes, rap is definitely a competitive sport, but it's been a sea of negativity for far too fucking long, and I'm completely over it. Like, we need something different, and if you were to tap back into that era, that sexy era, that love era, LL, baby, you would see a huge resurgence in your career. Like, you would definitely get all the praise from all the young kids and all of your peers. But hey, what do I know? At the end of the day, I'm just a broke black gay nigga on this couch wearing this cushion out. But I will say, at the end of the day, it was a great experience to be able to put together that whole entire display, the whole entire album listening party. And it was really great to be in his presence. Even when he was like rapping, like, I was standing by the photo booth and I could tell we locked eyes a few times because I was kind of like rooting him on and cheering him on. Like, it felt great, especially to be acknowledged by one of the greats. But at the end of that whole entire party, we had to take down the whole entire party, and baby, that was the absolute fucking worst. Because imagine having to carry all that shit upstairs again. Like, baby, I was sore for days. But I will say, I have a huge newfound respect for production assistants and people that put together all of these set displays, all of these concerts, all of these parties, all these events. I have a huge admiration and respect for the people that do this work because it is not easy. I mean, low-key, LL, baby, you owe me a new birthday manicure because my hands are fucked up, like calloused out the ass, like, baby. But it was a great experience. Another funny story, at the end of the party, when everybody was gone, this drunk white lady tried to sneak in because she got lost in the garage. And we had to, like, literally wait around for her disrespectful ass son to come pick her up. And Ron, who was the leader, didn't like the way the son was talking to her, and he stood up for the white lady, and she cried in his arms, and they were hugging, and they had a whole moment while me and the other boys were literally slaving and putting all that shit back into the U-Haul. But it was great working with Ron. Like, he loved us. He was like, you Houston people, like, y'all are the shit. Like, y'all, he said that we were the best team that he ever worked with. And I made connections. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see everybody again. I feel bad I didn't get everybody's number. But overall, it was a really great experience. But baby, the next few days, I was laid the fuck out. Wore the fuck out. And I also blame myself because the next 2 days I went to the gym. I did a 2-a-day the next day at the gym. And I went to the gym the day after the next. And baby, my body was cooked. And that's a big reason why I haven't put out any videos. But thank you all for your patience. But yeah, that was my story time about my time putting together LL Cool J's listening party. It was nice to meet him. Of course, I didn't get any pictures with them because we can't take pictures. Like, they were on our ass about that. Especially if anybody was trying to record the album, they were on that ass. But I was happy to be a part of the whole entire experience. And I also got to keep one of his pictures of him too. This one right here. Like, Ron actually loved my work ethic, and I saw this and he was like, hey, if you want it, you can have it. I've noticed after every industry event that I do, I always get like a little relic from the whole entire experience. So this is him, I think, when he was like 18 years old. I don't know if y'all can see, but this is probably like one of his first album covers, I think, or just one of his first like promo artworks. I don't fucking know, but I'm thankful to have it, and I'm thankful to be a part of the whole entire experience. But yeah, his album comes out on September 6th. Pre-order it, buy it, stream it, and let me know what you guys think about it. And let me know if you guys want me to do a full-on, like, in-depth review about it. But those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to come back at you guys with some more content.